senior center is not closing. Also, the city is not charging fees to the center. There's been a lot of talk out there that the city of Flint or this new contract, lease agreement that we put out there, we were charging fees to the center. That's never been the case. So I want you to understand, the center is not closing. Number two, the city is not charging fees to the seniors. Also, the city of Flint is taking over operations of the senior center as it was prior to the emergency management. Back when I was a councilman, the city ran the senior centers. I've seen Justice Stigpin coming here somewhere.
Right here.
There you go. He was one of the ones that ran one of the senior citizen centers. Was it Burston?
Burston, Hasselbring, St. John, Broome, Whalen.
Okay.
The dudes in center, I ran.
There you go. And he's still just as cool as he was back then.
Yeah.
All right. Also, all the city ordinances will be followed, inclusive of alcohol on premises. Next. How we got to this point? I talked about this earlier. I said that since 2016, the center has been operating without an updated lease agreement, with the city only receiving $1 per year for $8 through 2024 in rent from the current third-party service provider, which is the nonprofit. During that time, the service provider have received more than $1 million in county millage. Is it too loud? Okay. All right. They've received more than $1 million in county millage dollars. This year, I think the millage dollars was about $138,000 to round it off. Last year, the millage dollars was about 111, I believe, 112. But over the 8-year period, they received $1 million. The city has been working on all current lease agreements to bring them up to date citywide, and I touched on that earlier. How we got to this point again? The city has not been able to ascertain how much money has been generated through third-party rentals of the center. Okay, that was part of the contract. That we don't have any knowledge of what's being done, what's being collected. It's our center, so those are things that we should know. Number two, after several months of negotiating new terms, an agreement was reached. And I want to at least touch on this a little bit more. Everybody talk about the mayor. I was actually the bad guy. I was the one that said it should be $4,000 a month. Okay, I'm the one that said it should be 25% of rental fees. I'm the one that just gave what I felt that it should be on what they call a tier basis of commercial space. What happened was we've had 3 or 4 meetings over the last year to try to get this done. And finally, the mayor stepped in as the savior, and the mayor coming in and negotiated specifically with the third-party provider, which is the nonprofit, and they came to an agreement. They took it back to the executive board because the director stated that she was not able to move unless the executive board was voting on it. It went back. There was not an agreement. They come back to the table 2, 3 times, and finally, on I think the 4th time, we got an agreement. And the agreement was signed by the president of the executive board on, I think it was July the 19th of 24. At that point in time, it was time for it to go to the council. It was all kind of people that was at the council meeting doing public speaking. They sat there and they stated, "Oh no, the center should not be charged a dime." They say, "Oh, we didn't sign this agreement, but here's the agreement and it's signed." So, next point. How we got to this point. The city council failed to vote on the signed lease agreement with the current managing service provider of the center in August. The managing service provider was notified by letter from the city attorney, and that's the city attorney's letter right there. The letter also ordered the managing partner to immediately cease and desist third-party rentals. The day after the letter was sent, a party was held in which participants bought alcohol on the premises. The city again sent a letter calling for an end to third-party rentals, allowing the alcohol on the premises, asking them to abide by the already established rules within the lease agreement. The letter is no way affecting regular services for the seniors. That right there is the city ordinance. I don't have to read it. It just basically says consumption in public consumption in public prohibited, possession of or consumption in public park or parkway prohibited exceptions. So I don't have to read it. There it is.
I can't see it, so read it, please.
Because I'm looking on the side, and these glasses is dark. No alcoholic liquors or beer should be consumed on public streets, parks, or any other public places, including any store establishment doing business with the public not licensed to sell alcoholic liquor or beer therein. No person shall have in his possession or under his or her control any alcoholic liquor or beer upon within any public park or parkway, provided that such possession and consumption of public liquor or beer may be permitted within buildings or structures under the jurisdiction of the Department of Parks and Recreation, where not otherwise prohibited by law, upon the securing of permission from the director of the Department of Parks and Recreation. In this situation, it was told to us that the center had pulled different permits to have liquor. Well, I pulled everything I could find. There was nothing to that effect, even with the state insurance commission. So I just want to put that on record. Next. How we get to this point again? In September, the city attorney sent a third cease and desist notice to Hasselbring's management. This letter stated that all third-party rentals of the premises must stop again, and that the center is to be solely operated as a senior citizen center. Hasselbring's management sent a letter September 11th refusing to stop the third-party rentals. Next. If you see that right there, that's a lot to read, but that's the letter that Hasselbring sent to our attorney. It talked about rebuttals of her claims, the cease and desist demands, the insurance, defamation of character, just all kind of stuff. But there you go. Huh? There's some information over there, and it should be in there. So you should be able to read it. I shouldn't have to do that. Next. From page 2 of the Hasselbring lease agreement with the city, if you see what's in red, it talks about the tenant will be solely responsible for ensuring that the premises are used solely for the designated use and for no other purpose. Tenant will not use the premises in any manner that violates the premises rules of applicable laws. Well, there you go. There goes some of the stuff that was going on. Right there. 2 days following the third letter, September 15th, you got Old School Sundays, which I like Old School. But you got your BYOB in there, and I know BYOB don't mean bring your own Bible. It might mean bring your own bag. It might bring your own booze, but it don't mean bring your own Bible. Then you had the other one, September 14th, BYOB. Okay, next. I could get it for you. I can get it for you. I can get it for you. What happens next? Operation of Hasselbring Senior Center will return to the city of Flint beginning January 2025. I believe the 30-day notice of vacate gave them to January 5th or January 6th to vacate the premises. That was sent by our city attorney after we tried to work with them, after we told them not to do what they done, after they continued to do what they wanted to do. So there it is. City staff will maintain services at the center with no interruption to the seniors or to the center. We are going to take this back. We are going to put it in control of the city's hands like it used to be when I was on the city council. It ran very well then. I would say so, Justice. It ran very well. Okay. The city will reach out to the seniors, and that's what we're kind of doing today, to kind of find out what other services that you would like to see at the center, then work to make these changes happen. Next. Okay. During this process, when they knew that the center, that they should vacate by January 5th or 6th of 2025, you wouldn't think that if people coming up there to want to rent the center, that the third-party provider that's there now will continue to rent out February or March or April, all the way to August. But guess what? That's continuing to be happening. So it should not be any deposits should be given to the current service provider for rentals occurring in 2025, because you're supposed to be gone by January 5th or 6th, as the current provider will no longer be in charge of the operations of the center. Now, if in fact that's going on, which I know it is, I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat it, I know it is, notification, come on up, Dana. Notification should be made to Detective Dana Daniels of the Flint Police Fraud Division. There is his number, 810-237-6929.
Thank you, sir. Greetings, everyone. For those who don't know me, my first name is Dana, my last name is Daniels. I've been on the police force since 1987. My investigative experience reaches way back from 1991, when I was a licensed polygraphist for the city of Flint, where I did criminal polygraphs for 3 years. I've also was an arson investigator for 11 years. I was a fraud detective for 8 years. I handled the licensing division for the city of Flint when Mr. Thigpen was still over there. There was over 1,000 businesses here in the city of Flint. I have records of everybody. Cease and desist means exactly what it is, what it does. You cease and you desist. If not, it will be strictly enforced by a department. And it has been during the time period I was there. I retired in 2011. I went over to the Inspector General's office and did fraud investigations from 2011 to 2021. So I was there over 10 years. I retired from there. I sit on the couch for a couple of years. Chief Green notified me about coming back, doing fraud investigations, and I came back, and that's what I'm doing now. Okay, I'm doing fraud investigations. So when this matter was brought to my attention, like Mr. Taylor had said, there's evidence supporting the fact that they violated not only the rental agreement, but also they had received monies for deposit for events to take place after January 5th, 2025. If there's anybody out here that has made a deposit to Hasselbring Center to hold the event after that date, I want you to know you're a victim of fraud. And you should contact me immediately. I have a case on file, and there's probably other cases that's coming in that I'm investigating, and warrants will be issued for their arrest and violation, because that's just fraud. And when you look at the age difference, 65 years or older, you are elderly. So that means you're being exploited. That's another case of fraud. So if you're a victim of that And if you have friends, loved ones, families that's also being victimized by, their friends, children, which are cases I'm handling now, a lot of kids are abusing their parents. Contact me. Okay? Contact me. Thank you.
And basically what you have up here, it's all blacked out, but this is a Hasselbring Senior Center facility rental record. It shows where the rental fee is $500. It shows that the deposit fee was $150. It shows that the total paid was $150. It shows that the balance was $500. Everything is blacked out for a reason. Next slide, please. New programs. We talked about that it was not going to be a disturbance in the transition. It was going to be a smooth flow. It's going to be hopefully like this president's election that we just had. Hopefully this new one is going to be a smooth flow. Hopefully they won't be climbing the walls like they did 4 years ago. But as far as new programs come up, I'm going to bring forth now Miss Janoyce Wiggins. Because Janoyce, she can speak, she can talk about her experience. I've been knowing Janoyce from way back when you was there, Justice. So everything is pointing to you, okay? But the point is that it's going to be a smooth transition. She can tell you what she's done. We're going to have a member of, I think, a 6-member team that's going to come in the Hasselbring, and we're going to do what we need to do. Go ahead, Janoyce.
Hello, hello, hello. As Justice is the famous person for the hour, he was my first boss at St. John Community Center. Yes. But I have been working for the Department of Parks and Recreation for over 20 years. I spent as a senior center director at Pierce Community Center, and I spent 2 years at Haskell Community Center as a director, as well as working as a program coordinator at Hasselbring and at Burston Fieldhouse. So in working with everybody, I'm just excited about the new program. I'm excited about the programs that are already there. You all have been doing a great job there, but we are bringing some new programs. One of the things is a travel club, and this will include trips to casinos, museums, shopping trips, in and outdoor sporting events, and much more. Just give me your information. Activities and wellness, we're going to have yoga, ping pong, pickleball, choir. We already got a guy that's going to play and he's going to direct, as well as a chorus line. Some of the seniors, I don't know, you all know what a chorus line is? Yeah. Okay. So some seniors said we want to do a chorus line. All right. Oh yeah. And we're going to have water aerobics. Oh, right. So in education, we're going to have literacy, regulations, and other life learning skills. And we're going to have a program, it's called Transgenerational, and that's young people with older people for mentoring, as well as we're going to have some support groups. Some of the support groups are grandparents raising grandchildren. And we already got a young man or older man who said that he's interested in leading that. And you all know it's not just grandparents raising grandchildren. We have grandparents raising great-grandchildren. So this is just a support group so they can come together and discuss it and find out the various resources that are available. Also, we'll be having widows and widowers. That was an old program that was through Hasselbring about 15, 20 years ago, widows and widowers. Also, a singles, caregivers, and mental health and elder abuse. I think that's about it. Okay. Our established, from my understanding, I'm just talking about new programs that we're going to bring in. Yes. You know we can't forget the veterans. Oh, my son is still in the military. He got 19 years. Oh, Lord bless you. Awesome. We're going to have the annual volunteer appreciation luncheon. I know a lot of you who are volunteers out here. Well, we're going to have a volunteer appreciation luncheon once a year, recognizing your work that you've done at the center and in the community. Also, we're going to have a free monthly dinners for seniors over 80 years old. God bless you all. Monthly birthday celebrations for residents over 55 years old. You know what? Yeah, you guys are old. Right now, I'm in we call us the boomers, the baby boomers. We got any baby boomers here? Hey! Yeah, I'm one. Baby boomer. But we're going to have a jazz and brunch, and this is going to consist of some good music, some live, some video, and we're going to have that once a month. We're going to have, as I mentioned before, we're going to have a transgenerational programs, and this is seniors and youth, bringing them together, okay? Because our young people need to learn from us. I used to substitute as a teacher. I used to be a substitute teacher, and there was a young lady that jumped on the table, and she was doing her dance, right? And I said, baby, you need to get down. And she said, you know, that's what I need. I need somebody only to teach me what to do. So we get transgenerational. And then we're going to do a Zooming Boomer, and that is we're going to be walking. We're going to have walking trips, not just in Genesee County, but we're going to be on a van. It's going to take us to Kensington Park and just up into Port Huron. We're going to be doing some walking. I think that's about it, Mr. Taylor. Okay.
Okay. We're doing pretty good on time because I said about 25, 30 minutes for the presentation. I said about 20.
Still have our line dancing class?
She said, well, we still have our line dancing class.
Yes, from what I don't know a lot about it, but it's going to be some question and answers that I'm going to do now. I was just saying we're doing pretty good with time. I said 25, 30 minutes for the presentation. It's 1:30. We're doing good. So now what I want to do, I said probably about 25 minutes for questions or comments or whatever, and then we'll wrap it up. So,
I got a question.
okay, one minute, ma'am. 1 minute. So what we're going to do now is go through the question period. So I don't know if I need to take this mic.
Oh, I talk loud.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. Now, I want to ask you a question. Repeat the question.
Yeah.
Question time. All right.
Yeah.
Your question.
Go ahead, ma'am.
Okay, my question is, when was the contract over? Or when did you supposed to sign the contract?
The original contract that they were under has been expired since 2016. That's long. I have been gone, been retired, the whole world.
Okay, when did you know that you wasn't going to do it? When did we know that you wasn't going to sign the contract?
They signed a new contract on July. I'll give you the exact date because Mr. Percy Knapp signed it. I'll give you the exact date. Give me 1 second.
July 19th.
July 19th.
Okay. You're right. July 19th, 2024.
Oh, that's when the contract.
It was signed. It was
okay,
signed
when did the problem start?
July. The problem started when they came to the city council.
When? What date? That's what I'm saying.
I can't tell you that, but I know it had to be somewhere close to July 19th or the first week of August. It was.
And it was the first week of August because I was on time.
First week of August. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna ask one more question.
Uh-huh.
Look like you worked pretty fast to get some replacements, because I know when you commit a crime, it take a long time for the lawyers and stuff to get together. But seemed as if you knew something was gonna go wrong because you already got your sentence directed.
Well.
So I was just wondering. That's just
That's
something
fine.
to think about.
That's fine, but I'll just make a quick reply to it. Is that like Councilperson Judy Priestley said, it was the first week of August when this came to council. So once it came to council, it was our knowledge that it was going to be passed because it was already signed by the executive board. the nonprofit third-party administrator said, always had told me, hey, I can't sign it. I have to take this back to the executive board, let them look at it, and then they'll sign it. They'll sign it if it's an agreed upon. It took about 3 or 4 times for them to actually sign it. So it was coming to a vote, and it just all fell apart. Go ahead.
Hello, everyone. My name is Percy Knapp, and I'm the president of the executive board of Hasselbring Senior Center. You made a mistake when you said that we didn't know about the signing of the contract. We went down to the city council meeting. We did go down there with the understanding when we signed that contract, you guys was bullying us and twisting our arms to get it signed. So we signed it. And I knew for a fact that Ed Mays had told me that stuff has to be cleared through city council. So when city council saw what was going on with the contract, they thought it was appalling for the city to even charge the seniors anything. And what city council person put it out there for a second that it shouldn't be no more than $1. Okay, city council, they seconded it and they voted on it, and it was unanimously 8-0 to table that lease, to suspend it indefinitely. And so from that point, we was trying to get the mayor's office to go back through this lease to give us something both of us could agree on. But they got hardline with it and said this was it. And so that's where we are with this. And so it seems like it's been deaded, that they just want to get rid of, because this center has been running good. And our first few years, we struggled. You hear me? We struggled. We had grace from the county and the present administration that was in charge of the city. That's why our lease went like it did. They was giving us grace. And now this administration wants to twist our arm. Like they want to extort, they want to get money out of us, really. They want money paid to the city by the seniors. And if they're saying 100% of the county funds gonna go to programming, so that means they're gonna pay the executive director and her staff with their own money, which they could be using to help us instead of pushing us out. This center has been running good. And the city should be servants to the people that put them in place.
I will say one thing, like, was going up here too. He raised his hand up here. But I will say, that's fine. I will say one thing, that no, we're not going to be using any of the senior citizen millage money to pay our employees. Our employees are being paid out of a total another account. So when we say 100% of that money will go forward towards Hasselbring Senior Citizen Center, I'm telling you this over my dead body. See, I don't have to lie to nobody. Nobody. I don't have to lie to nobody. So I'm telling you what's going to happen.
My name is John Billings. I attended Hasselbring Center when I was about 39 years old. And I'm probably one of the oldest members besides Steve Penn and some others who've been up there. I've seen changes come and go. And I would say this, before the 501(c)(3)s took over the center, as far as activity, it was much better communication between the city and the director. And also, since this last 501 took over, I was on the board. Actually, I was the first president of that board. And I say this, the way that board come about was not right, because it was like we were forced to go from a advisory board to a 501(c)(3) board. And also the complaints The center has complaints and still get complaints from people getting put out for no reason. Beverly has called the police on me 2 or 3 times for no reason. So I would welcome change. Nothing is consistent but change.
That's a lie.
So it's not no lie, Percy. You can say all you want, Percy. I got documentation. I got receipts if you want me to pull them out. Showing where the police has been up there putting people out. Showing where y'all has been suspended people for years.
Excuse me. We're going to do this decent and in order. So when you have the microphone, please feel free to ask your question, make your comment. But when somebody else is talking, we will ask you to be quiet. We're all going to be respectful. Okay, when you have the microphone, sir, please do that. Okay, well, we're going to continue.
Okay, you have to go after this young man.
My name is A.C. Dumas. Just wait, if everybody would silence me, they could hear me. Thank you. My name is A.C. Dumas, and I've been a member at Hasselbring for many years. I have a question to you, Mr. Taylor. Or is the attorney here? Is the city attorney here? Okay. You gave a drop-dead deadline of January the 5th. I think that was the date. Have this issue been taken, this is a landlord-tenant, has it been taken to court? Has the city of Flint filed in the court to have the seniors evicted or whatever, to be evicted? And, you know, I was there when Don Williamson locked, and I got photos of, put the chains on the door at Brennan Center and Hasselbring. And what a senior did, we did a lock-in. Janois didn't. Well, I don't know if you did. We did a lock-in over at Hasselbring because of senior power. I just want to know one question. Has this been taken to court? Has the city attorney filed paperwork in court? And my last question is, how does $1 lease over there at the golf course, Mont Park, pay $1 a year lease for 10 years? What's the difference between Mont Park paying a lease, since we're talking about lease agreements, and Hasselbring, and I guess you all go after Brennan Center next, because they don't have a lease. Thank you.
Just to make a quick statement while you get the next person. Nobody is evicted any senior, so I want to get that straight. We're not evicting any senior. All we are doing is changing the service provider. And yes, here is the court papers that were filed. Notice to quit to recover possession of property, and that was filed December 4th.
So that
And it says, wait. It says, you must move by January 5th, 2025. You've been a landlord before, just like me. When you give a 7-day notice, you get it. If they don't vacate in 7 days, you go to court.
There you go. That's what I'm trying to say.
You on the same program.
Don't put all that out. The court will determine that.
Next person.
Not you all. I know what I'm saying.
You know I know what I'm saying.
Hey Ed, how are you?
I'm fine.
Hello, seniors. For one thing, we should have had this at the senior center. You know, I'm just saying, I'm not for it or against it. But what I'm saying, when we are over 50, it's supposed to be 50 at the center. And we're bringing young people in now, like the lady said, we're going to have young people doing this, doing that. And a lot of these older seniors
we can't depend on these young people, because the ones you bring in, are you gonna watch them after they leave? Because some of them might be watching some of the seniors and rob them or whatever. You might have good people coming in, but the seniors might be scared of them. So we should have a meet and greet before we just have you bringing people in and taking over programs. The seniors should meet and greet with these young people that they might be nice, they might be this, they might be that. But if they're under 50, a lot of these 60s and 70-year-old people are afraid of these young people. So it would be, I'm for the change, because everything needs to change sometime, for the better. But we need to meet and greet, and I think we should hold it at Hasselbring. Thank you.
Thanks, Bonnie.
Okay, I guess I'm on time clock over here. Mr. Taylor,
Yes, sir.
this lease agreement that you all come about, I want to say, kick it out and start all over again. And I'm going to tell you why. What information do you possess physically that would, say, describe the reasoning for the terms you put in that lease from day one? Because to my understanding, you were supposed to have some paperwork that proved that. No one has seen anything yet to get this beehive kicked around the way it's been kicked around. And I'm going to say it to you, it's all because of the way you put this lease together. It has soured the taste of the administration toward Hasselbring and vice versa. And no one has offered anything reasonable to try to make this thing both sides win. It's about the city winning at this point. So if you got information that you were requested from at one time from City Council but never produced, then let's do that. Thank you.
Again, I'm going to say this while she's giving the mic to the next person. First of all, I don't write leases. The city attorney writes leases.
Okay.
Secondly, this lease didn't nobody twist nobody's arm, because I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna put it to you just like this, and some of you all are way older than me. I'm up there, but some of you are way older than me. Now I'm gonna tell you something. If you go buy a car and they tell you you gotta put $5,000 down, and you don't want to put nothing down, and then they tell you this is your payment, and you don't like it, what do? You walk away from it. That man don't twist your arm. It's the same with a lease agreement, rental property. If I own a home and I tell you it's $850 a month, and I tell you you have to lease it for 2 years, you may say, hey, I don't want to lease it but for 1 year, and I'm not going to pay you $850 a month. What do? You walk away. Okay? I don't twist nobody's arm to do nothing. But this lease, and like I say, I was the bad guy. The mayor was the good guy. He met with your service provider 4 or 5 times to get this to this point. They signed it. I did not sign it. They took it back to the executive board, just like she told me. She took it one time. Well, no, we can't do it. The executive board not in agreement. We came back. The mayor done some more negotiations. Bam. Guess what happened? Took it back again. They wouldn't sign it. So finally, after the 4th time, they signed it. I don't think that's twisting nobody's arm. So there you go. Next question, please. Yeah, somebody got the mic. I don't know if we have the mic.